So I'm back in London. I last week was trying to find ways to stop me from doing massage because I find it very demoralizing. And on one hand, it's a good thing because I feel like it humbles me and makes me feel like I uh, like maybe I'm not God. Maybe I need to stay focused on reality. And just bear in mind that there might be a very long wait. That's what massage has done. I've been doing it for a very long time, and it's always made me very grounded. But recently, I've realised that it doesn't just make me grounded; it also makes me not believe in myself and have lack of confidence in myself, and it just basically insults me in every way. I think on one hand, it also angers me a huge amount to know that I'm giving sessions to people, and if I try to tell them that I was God, none of them would care. Um, but this anger feeds me, so there's good and bad in it, and but I feel like it's just getting to the point where I can't focus on what I'm trying to do because I feel like I'm bogged down with the possibility that nothing is going to happen. And, I'm thinking about my sister and just, I don't know what's going to happen. I know there's this baby that I would have liked to have. But then I'm thinking, how bad is her mental condition? And then I'm thinking my mum, I always thought that she would be able to do it or be able to look after the child as Sophie couldn't. And then when the child came, the reality set in that actually Sophie was far more mentally ill than I realized. And so is my mum, and therefore I feel like, well, then I don't know what the plan is or what the plan should be. And I feel like me having massage, doing massage keeps me keep thinking that I'm just a nothing because this is how my clients treat me, and my clients treat me like I'm worth £50 an hour and that's it, and it's just really insulting. So, um, but yeah, as a god who literally is created the English language and millions of films and songs and naming the countries and stuff. I feel like I need to have things on a very different perspective. Um, and on that perspective, you know, Sophie, Kanye West, and Britney Spears, whatever's going on, I don't know because I don't know Britney or Kanye West, but I'm very convinced with their act or reality of mental illness. I would say it's an act. I would love to believe it's an act, but then I'm looking at my sister, and my mom was saying that Sophie told her the same things as she told me, which is that she's going to try for another baby in a few weeks, and she doesn't care who the father is, and she's basically just going to start having sex with whoever is willing to have sex with her, and because there's a lot of idiots in the world, there's going to be a lot of takers for this basically. It's really strange how if my sister does just sleep with whoever, people would see her as a slut, and yet in I'm seeing it both ways. I mean, whoever would just sleep with someone or sleep with her, knowing or not knowing the past history, not finding out the past history of her having kids and losing them, and anyone that would take that up is an idiot. But unfortunately, there are loads of idiots here, and I feel like mental illness is just getting too confused with idiocy. There's no tablet to fix an idiot. You can't be like, oh, you're stupid. Here we go. Here we go. Here's a smart tablet. That idiocy cannot be fixed, and people keep covering it over with mental illness. Autism is a real thing, but not doing things like losing a child or losing a child to social services, should I say, and then thinking a second later, all right, let's just wait till my next period and get pregnant again. It's almost like she's just gagging for sex, and I don't know what's going on in Britney's life, but I feel like she has that same weird need. And yeah, and then I feel like if their conditions are as real to them as my sister's madness, I feel like whatever madness is going on in them, it's actually God. I feel like my higher self. I don't like my sister at all for ignoring me and not helping me. And if I've made the timeline, I would have probably known that I needed to be ignored, known that I needed no one to help me. So I probably would have found the stupidest, dumbest girl that I could find to do this. And well, if I would have done that, then I wouldn't care what happens to her, or if she chooses to, I don't know. Like I know that there's going to be some sort of fake sex orgy or whatever coming up, um, and I feel like my sister's more gagging for it than me, and her saying things like this, like I'm just going to get pregnant with, I'm going to start trying for a baby again after just losing another one and also losing one before that, and just being so mentally ill to not care. I mean, what is going on in her head? I don't know. I know she needs to be stopped, and I definitely think that a coil needs to be inside of her. When it comes to the long term future, I just don't know. Like on a mortal level, like I would say she should. I just don't know. I don't think it should be my choice. Um, but I know that I don't care if I never see her again. But that is a, I don't know what happens to the child. The child doesn't deserve this. I don't believe that Thomas was a bad person. Um, I think he was led by the same devil spirit that Sophie is listening to, and that was what caused him to go through this. I don't like Donnie very much. If Donnie would have died and then been reborn in her stomach, and I wouldn't want the child, because I wouldn't want to raise Donnie. I feel like Donnie is this horrible, nasty, negative person who, I don't even want to say, because I feel like maybe saying is making him that way in the first place. Why? Because I literally am God, and I need to stop doing massage because it's making me feel like I'm not God, and it's making me feel like I'm nothing, and I am God. Things that I am saying is manifesting, and I don't want to manifest things that are negative. I'm trying really hard to get away from negativity, and it's hard. Um, but I don't know. Things happen for a reason, but I just, it's hard to work out the future, and it's also hard to. It's like on one hand, I do in some way care about my family, but I don't. I shouldn't. I have no reason to. And anyway, um, I have to admit I have this fish that wasn't feeding. I tried feeding it, and it would never go to the top. It was always searching around the bottom for food, even though the food was all at the top, and all the other fish were all gathering up at the top. And this was completely this new red one that I bought, red male. But I realised that I'm going away on holiday, and what do I do when I go on holiday? Well, I put um, the fish biscuit into the water, and it goes to the bottom, because I was worried that he might not be able to find get food or something if I'm gone, if he's never eating the top, and the food's always at the top. And then I realized, well, the food's not going to be at the top for the next few days, it's going to be right at the bottom. And I don't know, I mean, I think he's an idiot, definitely, but maybe he kind of was predicting the future, and maybe that he knew that the food or the fish biscuit was actually going to be at the bottom, and that's why he kept looking at the bottom, because he was predicting the future and trying to work out what that fish biscuit is. Okay, I'm not actually saying that's the truth. I'm not insane. I'm not saying the fish are generally that smart, but what I am saying is that sometimes something can seem stupid, but it's doing something that might actually be predicting something that's going to happen in the future. Even the fish didn't realize that the food wasn't at the bottom, but technically, maybe subconsciously, it knew that it would be in the bottom. I'm going to be in London from Tuesday till Friday, and I only bought it yesterday, so or 2 days ago. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday, wasn't it? I think it was yesterday. And so yeah, is the fish just being a stupid fish, or was the fish predicting that in the next few days, over the next few days, the food is actually going to be at the bottom? It's just a food for thought, I think the word is.